What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Poke Office. My name is Colin. Well, I missed out on Phantasmal Flames. The release was on Pokemon Center today. You probably already know that. And I got into queue around like 25, 30 minutes after kind of all of the Discord communities, and I saw it on Facebook and X and texts and everything. I got in, but I was working. So I was in the queue, and then by the time I got there, it was sold out. I still could have gotten bundles, but I'm getting bundles from distribution anyways, so I didn't need to take that stock away. I wanted a couple of the Elite Trainer boxes because it's tough. Like, it's easy to get upset about it because it's an easy double your money scenario, like right away. Legitimately, if you get that pre-order in on Pokemon Center, the day it ships, it's worth twice as much as you're paying for it, which is pretty crazy. But at the same time, you just have to be okay with missing sometimes, because I can't be not doing my job. I can't be like just looking on Pokemon Center all the time. And even when you are, some people miss out. So it is what it is, right? But here's what I want to talk about is kind of leveling up the collection. And I've been in this situation lately, not to get it too much into specifics, but my business is run with me, but also there's 5 other people. So my wife, it's a family business, and then my parents, and then my sister and brother-in-law, we're all in it together. So anyways, our accountant has been talking to us about, like, maybe you have a little bit too much inventory. And maybe the more conservative people of the group are saying, well, yeah, we do have too much inventory because got booster boxes and Elite Trainer boxes sitting in the back, right? And I'm just trying to convince them, like, but this is how you actually build a retirement investment in TCG. You keep a little bit, you sell through some stuff, because the whole goal lately on the Poke Office has been to not put any more of my own or our collective group's own money into the business. Like, we're self-sustaining enough that the churn and burn, the profits pay for the new product, and we save some product and keep on going, so forth. So I'm trying to convince the more conservative people of the group to be, well, no, we have to hold on to some of these booster boxes. We have to hold on to some of these Elite Trainer boxes, because that's where the magic actually really happens, where they grow over time. And I know this current time period is not realistic, but like that 3 to 5 year outlook, it is realistic to double and triple your money with Pokemon cards, which is substantial. So we're trying to work through that. And I mean, I'm a team player, so we got to come to a team consensus, but I certainly want to hold on to some product. And I think that's what's different, right? Like, inventory in Pokemon isn't necessarily just dead money. It's actually appreciating in value. So that's a bit of a different thing to talk about. Anyways, the reason why I brought this up is because over the weekend I was vending at a couple shows. I was actually spread really thin this weekend because I was at a local show in town here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but also I was at a show about an hour and a half drive away from where I live on the Saturday, just a one-day show. So on the Saturday, my brother-in-law Kevin and my friend Josh stayed here at the show, and me and another friend who came to help went to Salmon Arm, the city a couple hours away from me, and so we were spread out pretty thin, but I did really, really good. And ironically, it wasn't crazy. It wasn't chaotic. It was actually really slow. I found the day quite boring, but my goodness, did I sell some big stuff. Like, I'm talking about, I sold my sealed case of Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, which are getting rarer and rarer by the second because they didn't last very long. I sold a case of Stellar Crown Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. I sold a case of Crown Zenith Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box Pluses. Those were doing nothing for the longest time. That's the one I really want to talk about. But I also sold a case of Paldea Evolved booster boxes, right? So we're talking about quite a bit of value here in just some big sealed boxes. And that's kind of how my business and my collection and my investment, like all 3 of these things gathered together, that's how I've been able to continue leveling up, is by using the value I already have, letting it appreciate, and then putting that money into new things. Because I need to make a bunch of different videos here, so it maybe is a little bit of a scattered video, but this is just all the things I'm thinking about in my business right now. So number one, I want to level up my actual display case, which I really, really leveled up the display case for vending recently, which we'll go over on another video. But the big idea here is the Crown Zenith Elite Trainer Box Pluses from Pokémon Center. For the longest time, they're basically the price of 11 packs of Crown Zenith because they came with 2 extra packs. It didn't come with a special stamped promo card. It came with the deck box, but like, who cares? But they're a cool box for sure. And I actually opened quite a few of them, which is kind of sad because I had more of them. But anyways, that is what it is. But the special thing about that is that Crown Zenith is already, how old? Like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years old. And now it's starting to really cook. Like, those boxes in Canadian dollars cost $77 each from Pokémon Center. And I'm thinking about this because of Phantasmal Flames, obviously. I sold them for $5.50 each, like as a case. So $77 to $5.50. I didn't actually do the math, but it's pretty substantial. It's like 6 to 8 times your value, or 600 to 700% ish, something like that, which, like, that's outrageously good. Outrageously good. And now I can use that money to bolster my display case at vending, or grab some more booster boxes for the inventory or investment side of things, or grab some more actual inventory for the rip and ship or for the store, because I have a lot of people coming locally now to buy from me. My name is starting to spread out there a little bit. So that's exciting, and it's got me thinking. It's a long-winded response here, but it's got me thinking that, like, what do we actually do? We have this tentative problem of inventory. The accountant thinks it's too much. A couple people that I'm in business with think it maybe is too much, or maybe we need to reassess things. I think it's not enough, obviously, because I want to invest in Pokemon. And I believe in Pokemon. So how do we meld this all together? And so I see the brilliance of it, right? Crown Zenith, if I would have sold that for double the money, I would have got double the money. I could have got double the money probably a month or two after Crown Zenith released, because it kind of was popular. Probably not even, because you could buy them for a little while. I'm forgetting a little bit. Anyways, point stands. Or because I held it till now the value had some true growth and appreciation. So now we're talking about, like, well, now I spent $338 after tax and shipping to get it to my door in Canada, and now I have a couple $1,000s to work with. That's a really, really nice gain. So what can I do with that? Same thing applies to my thinking regarding my booster box collection. So right now, I'm at a position where I have at least one sealed case of every Scarlet and Violet booster box. And same with the Elite Trainer boxes, except I'm missing Paldean Fates. So that's kind of the current goal for me, to at least hold one of each case of thing from each set moving forward. Now, where it gets tricky is, how do we balance this out? I personally am of the belief that holding for too long makes it quite hard to sell, and I like easy money. So even now, like, this market is really hard to navigate for me, because heck, I could sell my Paldea Evolved booster box cases, because I have a couple ones of those, and I just did sell one. But I could sell that. Like, it's selling for $550 and $600 per booster box Canadian dollars, so that's $3,000 to $3,500. And I bought those a long time ago. I bought them when they were $150 Canadian. That's substantial growth. And that's, what, 2 years? Like, it's not even 3 to 5. But I want to kind of come up with a strategy where I'm actually taking that growth into consideration, because right now, Paldea Evolved is still very liquid. People want it. People are willing to buy that, no problem. Like, it sells quick if I put it up on the market. Whereas, let's pretend that Paldea Evolved becomes the Evolving Skies. And in no way, shape, or form do I think Paldea Evolved is Evolving Skies. But if I wait for Paldea Evolved to grow to that level of value, where we're talking about like tens of thousands of dollars for a booster box case, the market really narrows to where you have to find a really specific person willing to shell out that type of cash for a booster box case. And I'm not sure if I want to be in that position right now. Especially, like, I'm not a whale. I don't have huge inventories. I have a good inventory, and I'm not trying to downplay it, but it's not like I'm a huge fish in the sea. So I want to maintain where, yes, I get the true appreciation of a product, but I also cash it out and don't fall in love with it so that I can put that money into a new piece of product as well. So I'm not 100% sold on this, but this video is really telling you my thoughts on the matter. Is that, what if we did something like, I buy 2 cases starting now in Mega Evolutions, and then we get to a place, I already have the 1 case minimum for Scarlet and Violet era, so I want to, this is hard to explain, I want to skip a whole block or a whole era of Pokemon cards. So let's pretend we're at Scarlet and Violet base set. Now we're into Mega. I'm not selling anything yet. I'm buying. When the new era after Mega Evolutions comes out, that era's first set, maybe that's when I'll sell my first case of Scarlet and Violet base set for the growth, and then buy whatever I can of the new set. Put that money to new use. You know what I'm saying? Keep the inventory flowing so the cash flow remains. But what I'd actually like to do is I'd like to have 3 cases of each, and I'm not at this point yet, but this is kind of the goal moving forward. Get to 3 cases held each, and then instead of dealing with it on a time basis, you deal with it on an actual value basis to some extent. And I think it needs to be a hybrid, and I'm still trying to actually reason with my thoughts here. So you can let me know down in the comments if what I'm saying it makes sense or if I'm just a lunatic. Anyways, if Scarlet and Violet base set 3 times as its value, which it already has for the booster box case. No, it hasn't 3 times, 2 times. If it 3 times is, then you sell it, or you sell 1, and you put that money into a new product. And then the other one that you have, or the other 2 that you have, you wait till that 3 times is again. So I don't love this, but I think there's something to be said about it. Same with Paldea Evolved. Once it 3 times is, that's when you sell the first booster box case, move that money into somewhere else. So you're dealing with some sort of rules. And I know that there's probably an art to investing in Pokemon, but I think there has to be some rules and guidelines associated as well, because me personally, they're so easy to fall in love with my Pokemon investments. My Umbreon VMAX Gem Mint 10. I think it's not a bad time to sell right now, especially with what's happening with that card currently. But that's the last thing I want to sell, because I pulled it myself, I graded it myself, and I have a lot of attachment to the moment and the memory of that card more than the actual piece of cardboard. But I also find it really hard. My display back here, I love it. That's the hard part about investing in something that you're passionate about, because it is so easy to fall in love with it. So I'm trying to generate and come up with this set of guidelines that I actually need to follow while still maintaining cash flow, while still churning and burning some inventory, while still holding enough that I feel confident in the growth that it's going to achieve. But it's just the question of, when is the time to sell? I think it's a total mistake to just sell it all early, because then you'd never be part of the exceptions like Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is an exceptional piece of property where back in the day, you literally could buy this booster box for $150 Canadian, probably just a little more than $100 American. Maybe you got it for $100 USD, but now it's worth thousands per box. That's exceptional growth in 4 years' time. It came out in 2021. Think about Team Up if you were smart enough, or if you have lasted in the hobby this long. I didn't, unfortunately, but I had opportunities to buy that box for under 2,000 Canadian. It wasn't crazy expensive like it is now, but at the time I thought that there was better investments, honestly. I just missed the boat, which is fine. I don't have any regrets about that. But man, the test of time is that you actually, number 1, stay in the hobby long enough to see the growth, and number 2, you don't get greedy, but you do recognize that there's some true appreciation that happens in that 3 to 5 year mark. And right now, this whole idea is being so skewed because of how fast Pokemon is growing, and the new sets like Destined Rivals is already a $400, not quite, booster box. Last I checked, that's ridiculous stuff. But it is what it is, right? Like, I don't make the rules. I don't make the markets. People are buying this stuff. So what can we do about it? But I just want to find a way to continue leveling up my game, because there's a huge passion for me about Pokemon, but there's also a huge passion for me about business. And I think when I first got into Pokemon, it finally clicked in my head, because I always had the struggle of like, I have never really found something I'm super passionate about. I always like things, but I'm such like I always call myself a quitter, just because it's not even me being derogatory towards myself. It's the fact that I never found something that, like, when push comes to shove, I want to push past the things that get hard, because I love it so much, until Pokemon happened. And now I've been able to blend my love of Pokemon with my love of business and making money and figuring things out. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. So now this is like the next hurdle for me in the Poke Office. How do we go from just churning and burning to building this inventory, to holding some of the inventory to actually appreciate the value, and while still not falling in love with it, and still cashing out when the time is right? Because personally, and don't get me wrong, I love it, but I don't want to have hordes of Pokemon in my basement. Like, that's not the strategy for me. I want to actually continue moving through it. And yes, do I want to have this collection back here of one of every booster box moving forward? Absolutely, I do. Like, there's still the collector's heart inside, but for actual, like, appreciation, I really value easy movement and easy sales. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully this video made sense. I talked a lot. I don't know if I'm just talking about how I'm feeling, because at the end of the day, like, this YouTube channel has really evolved for me as well as an outlet. And I mean, I don't get a ton of views anymore lots of times, but it sure is nice to just talk and to get this small town community feel at the Poke Office. So come hang out. The Discord's available, which is a great community of, like, it's a small group, but it's really cool. We all know each other. And the live streams on Thursday nights as well. I'm growing my vending stuff. I'm growing the business, everything about it. I'm just going to keep talking and sharing what I'm learning along the way. So hopefully you're here for it. If you do like the content, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and I will see you again very, very soon. Peace!